This boy had stage 2 cancer in his nose and had to do strong chemotherapy to shrink it. One day, while traveling on a public bus, a woman misbehaved with this boy for giving up his seat, and the woman was later arrested by the police. What happened there? Before start the story, please subscribe to our YouTube channel Story Podcast Book. A year ago, I found out I had stage 2 cancer in my nose. The tumor was big, but luckily it was not malignant, or maybe that's not the right word in English, but it was isolated, meaning it did not infect other parts of my body. I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge. I had to do strong chemo to shrink it before they could take it out. The chemo made me lose a lot of hair, even my eyebrows and eyelashes. I had to shave my head, but I wore a wig, because I didn't want to look like a bald extremist. One day, after a long chemo session at the hospital, I took the bus home. It was the only bus that went from the hospital to my place, and it was full of people. I felt awful because of the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged guy to let me sit. He was very nice and gave me his seat without any fuss. 2 stops later, the entitled mother, a huge woman with a "I want to speak to the manager" haircut, and a kid around 12 years old, got on the bus. She saw the bus was crowded, looked for an empty seat, saw me and started walking, or more like squeezing through the seats while pushing people away to get to me. I saw her and I knew it was going to be trouble. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is what she said. Entitled mother.
Hey, can you give up your seat for my kid?
Me? Entitled mother.
Who else?
Me. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm coming from the hospital and... Entitled mother.
So are we. Lie. The bus stop was far from the hospital. My boy just fractured his leg and we're just out of the air.
Her kid was next to her without any crutches, clearly ashamed. Me. He looks fine to me. Entitled mother.
Listen here, boy. My kid needs to sit down.
Me. Listen, lady. I'm sorry, but I just had a chemo session in the hospital and I need to sit down and relax. I then shifted my wig a little to show her my bald head. Entitled mother then began to scream in my face. Entitled mother.
Quit lying and move from the seat, you baldie.
I was stunned. I had no words. The kid was begging his mother to stop, and everyone on the bus was watching us. She then reached for me and tried to pull me from my seat. I gripped hard and luckily didn't fall off. Then, OG, my hero, came in. He was the older gentleman. Will you be quiet, whale? Entitled mother.
How dare you talk to me like that?
OG, with ice-cold voice.
Stop attacking other passengers or I will have to intervene. Also, any idiot could tell that the guy has cancer.
M.
No, he's just a baldie.
OG.
He's got no eyelashes.
That really pissed off entitled mother, because she turned around and threw a powerful punch at older gentleman's face. I was amazed and speechless. The whole bus was stunned, and the kid probably wanted to disappear. Older gentleman then said something incredible, and a perfect sweet karma moment happened. That's it. Bothering passengers on the bus, physical attack against a passenger, and now assaulting an officer. You're in big trouble, lady. Older gentleman then showed a badge and told her to stay put. Then he took out his phone, called someone and told her she was under arrest. I was shocked. Older gentleman was a damn cop. At this point, entitled mother was as pale as a ghost. The bus had just stopped, so she tried to escape, but other passengers blocked her path. She then also got charged with resisting arrest because of this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for the entitled mother and entitled kid, or embarrassed kid. Embarrassed kid apologized to me for his mother's actions, and I felt really bad for the kid. He was not a bad kid, but his mother was a monster. Older gentleman talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I happily said yes, took a statement, and thankfully was nice enough to let me handle everything on the phone, so I didn't have to go to the police station for questioning. In the end, entitled mother got some prison time and community service. I, in return, got a great story to share and the sweet feeling of instant karma. Right now, I'm on the same bus home, as I just came back from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend who's sitting next to me told me I should post it here. He, like me, also couldn't believe that such people existed, but it seems I showed it to him. I should also mention that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November and my hair is slowly growing back. Also, I don't have to wear a wig anymore. This is a remarkable story of how you faced cancer with courage and how you got justice for the abuse you suffered from an entitled mother. I'm glad you are cancer-free now and that your hair is growing back. You have a great friend who supported you, and encouraged you to share your story. I hope you are doing well and that you never encounter such rude people again. Thank you for posting this story. I left my father's business and got an amazing offer from his top customer. What happened there? My father owns a business that I work for along with my brother. He plans to pass on the entire business to my elder brother when he retires. He thinks it's the logical choice because my elder brother is his firstborn and has the most experience in this business. He also has a degree in business and is more knowledgeable about the managerial aspects of this work. I'm good at the practical side of the job, but I was a bit reckless in my youth, so he doesn't trust me to run the business. I don't really want to be the boss either, but I feel like I deserve some input and ownership in the business as his son and a hard-working employee. I don't need half, but something. My father refused and said I would inherit some money when he dies. That made me very angry and resentful, and I couldn't stand working there and seeing them anymore, so I handed in my notice. I've been keeping a calm face ever since. This is my final week, and Jared, the person who handles our biggest client, asked me if I could do another project for them next week. I told him I would let my brother know, but I won't be here next week. Jared and I are quite close because I'm the one who does most of the work for this client. We've even hung out a few times outside of work. He wondered why I was quitting. I just said it was for personal reasons. He asked me where I was going to work next, and I said I didn't know yet, because there aren't many businesses that are looking for people with my skills. Then today, while I was working, Jared's boss came over and asked me if I would be interested in working for them. He said he had been thinking about doing this work in-house for a while, but he couldn't find anyone with enough expertise in this niche field. He said he was always impressed by my work, and that's why they always asked for me. He offered me a 3-year contract, and the pay is way higher than what I ever earned at my father's business. It also comes with benefits and an office. I'm not sure what I'll do with an office, but it sounds awesome. I also get to choose the equipment and hire 2 assistants. It's a fantastic offer, but I know that losing this client will hurt my family's business a lot. But it's not like I was looking for this or trying to take their client away. He came to me and offered me this. I thought about using this as leverage with my father to get some stake and say in the business, but honestly, I don't want to do that and I just don't want to work with them anymore. In my personal opinion, this is a realistic and relatable story that shows the struggles of working in a family business and the desire to pursue one's own dreams. The son is a sympathetic character who faces a difficult decision that affects his personal and professional relationships. The story also raises some interesting questions about what constitutes fairness, loyalty, and success in a family context. I think the story is well written and engaging, and I enjoyed reading it. A 28-year-old man grew up surrounded by women in his family. He complained and had a fight with his mom and sister. He left the family group chat and deactivated his Facebook. What happened there? I am a 28-year-old man, and I grew up surrounded by women in my family, mainly because my mom raised me and I lost touch with my dad's relatives after a nasty divorce when I was a kid. I have 2 sisters in their early 30s, 3 aunts, 2 are my mom's siblings, and 1 is married to another aunt. And they also have a bunch of female family friends who join them for these occasions. 3 years ago, my mom came up with the idea of having a girls-only weekend. It started with watching one of the Magic Mike movies, and it was such a success that they began to do these weekend trips once or twice a month. At first, I didn't mind, because I'm an adult, and I have my own life, and my own place, and I didn't really pay attention to it. But something happened recently that made me frustrated with the whole thing. My aunt's birthday was in January, and we usually go to her favorite restaurant for her birthday, which happens to be my favorite restaurant too. So I got her a gift and a card and waited for an invite and none came. When I asked what was happening for her birthday, I was told they celebrated it early on their girls' day because she was going to be out of town during her birthday. This annoyed me because when I said I got her a gift, my mom told me to just drive over to her house and give it to her. I felt pretty left out since I'm the only guy in my immediate family, and having a girls' day is like saying, hey, let's celebrate my birthday but not invite him. I complained about it and was told that I was being selfish and that she can celebrate her birthday however she wants. I agree with that, but again, I'm the only one being left out, and it sucks. The final straw was when I just found out that they were planning a summer vacation this year as girls only too, and when I asked my mom, what about the vacation we usually take as a family, she told me that they can't afford to do both. so they are just doing the girls-only vacation this year. At that point, I was very angry and had a loud fight with my mom and sister, telling them that it's really unfair that twice a month they have group activities and deliberately exclude me, and on top of that are now even taking vacations and leaving me out. Nothing came of the fight and they wouldn't change their minds. So I decided I needed a break from my immediate family, because they don't care about how I feel. So I left the family group chat and deactivated my Facebook. Now my phone is ringing nonstop and I'm being told that I'm immature and I need to grow up. I replied that a lot of grown people don't see much of their family at all, and I'm just going to do the same. This is a story of a man who feels excluded and hurt by his family's girls-only events. He tries to express his feelings, but he is met with resistance and criticism. He decides to distance himself from his family, hoping that they will understand his perspective. However, he only receives more blame and pressure. He feels like he has no place in his family, and he is unsure of how to resolve the conflict. This is a story of loneliness, frustration, and misunderstanding. If you like our story, please subscribe our YouTube channel, Story Podcast Book, and hit the bell button for notification.